Hello and welcome back to the Masked Reader. What did you think of last week's stories? I thought they did an amazing job. I, it was sad to say goodbye to four of our readers, but you know what they say when one book closes, another book opens. Speaking of opening, I'm here to open the show for another week of incredible tales. Isn't that right, Mrs. Liswell?
I hope by tales you mean stories and not animal tales. We have a wild bunch of readers from Group 2 who are ready to share their stories with you. Their stories will make you hoot or even go bananas. Remember to vote for your favorite reader to keep them in the competition.
Hi everyone, Monkey here. I'm so excited to be doing the Masked Reader. I used to love reading books when I was younger. I used to go bananas for them. My favorite was Curious George. I wonder why. I picked the monkey because I love monkeying around with my students, and I can't wait to be back in the jungle with them. Vote for me! Hey friends, Monkey here. Today I'm going to read a story called Peanut Butter and Cupcake. This is one of my favorites. Are you ready? Peanut Butter got a ball for his birthday. He was kind of bad at kicking it with his feet, but he was kind of good at balancing it on his head. Still, it wasn't much fun playing with a ball all by himself. Want to play with me? He asked his mom. They had just moved to town and Peanut Butter didn't have any friends yet. I think you should go outside and find someone to be your new friend, she answered. Peanut Butter liked that idea very much, so off he went. It wasn't long before he saw someone. Hello, I'm new here, and I'd like to play. Maybe now, maybe later, or even all day. I'll make you chuckle deep down in your belly, and we'll go together like peanut butter and hamburger. I'm sorry, said Hamburger, but I'm busy walking the dogs. Thanks for asking, though. You're welcome, said Peanut Butter. Maybe next time. And he kept walking. Then he saw Cupcake playing by herself. He thought she looked sweet and might make a good friend. Hello, I'm new here and I'd like to play. Maybe now, maybe later, or even all day. I'll make you chuckle deep down in your belly, and we'll go together like peanut butter and Cupcake. I'm building sprinkle castles, said Cupcake. You can stay and watch, but don't hit my castle with your ball or I'll be mad. Peanut Butter didn't want anyone mad. That's okay, Peanut Butter said, and he kept walking. Then he saw Egg rolling down the path. Hello, I'm new here, and I'd like to play. Maybe now, maybe later, or even all day. I'll make you chuckle deep down in your belly, and we'll go together like peanut butter and egg. Peanut butter and egg? You're cracking me up, Egg laughed. And then he really did crack. Peanut Butter didn't want the egg to laugh anymore, so he kept walking. He found someone jumping. Hello, I'm new here, and I'd like to play. Maybe now, maybe later, or even all day. I'll make you chuckle deep down in your belly, and we'll go together like peanut butter and meatball. 32, 33, 34. Shh, I'm counting my jumps, said Meatball. 35, 36, 37. I'm trying to set a record. Meatball whispered back, but I have this ball and 38, 39, 40. Shh, said Meatball. Peanut Butter kept walking. Finding a friend was harder than he thought it was going to be. Then Peanut Butter saw another someone sitting under a tree, and that was good because he was ready to sit down too. Even though he was getting tired, he gave it another try. Hello, I'm new here, and I'd like to play. Maybe now, maybe later, or even all day. I'll make you chuckle deep down in your belly, and we'll go together like peanut butter and French fries. Not right now, said French fries. I just remembered I'm supposed to help Hamburger with his hot dogs, and I need to catch up. Peanut Butter walked up to one more someone who was practicing his ABCs. But before he could open his mouth, Soup picked up a spoon, dipped it into himself, and then showed it to Peanut Butter. In the spoon were two letters, an N and an O. But I didn't say anything yet, said Peanut Butter. You didn't have to, said Soup. Oh, said Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter found a bench to sit on. He was almost ready to give up. But as he sat there, so very sad, a new kid walked up to him. Hello, she said. Peanut Butter took a deep breath. Hello, I'm new here and I'd like to play. Maybe now, maybe later, or even all day. I'll make you chuckle deep down in your belly, and we'll go together like peanut butter and jelly. Sure, I'll be your friend, said Jelly, but could you teach me how to keep the ball on my head? I'm only good with my feet. So they taught each other what they knew and made each other chuckle deep down in their bellies. It wasn't long before their laughing made the other kids come over. They asked if they could play too. Of course, Peanut Butter and Jelly were happy to let them join in. As his new friends knocked the ball around with their feet and their heads, and in one case, his buns, Peanut Butter chuckled deep down in his belly because they all went together like peanut butter and hamburger and cupcake and egg and meatball and French fries and soup and jelly. The end. Don't forget to vote for me, Monkey.
Hello viewers, Owl here. Here are a few clues about me to help you figure out who I am. Number one, my favorite subject is art because I love to be creative and see what I can make. My favorite picture book is actually the book I'm going to read today, which is The Very Hungry Caterpillar, because I love hearing all the things a caterpillar wants to eat. And I did pick this mystery animal because I love their big piercing eyes. The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through two pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through three plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through four strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through five oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through one piece of chocolate cake, one ice cream cone, one pickle, one slice of Swiss cheese, one slice of salami, one lollipop, one piece of cherry pie, one sausage, one cupcake, one slice of watermelon. That night he had a stomachache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through one nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore. And he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story.
Butterfly here. When I was a little girl, I loved reading in school. As a teacher, my favorite thing to teach is math. When I was little, Curious George were my favorite types of stories. I loved the one about Curious George goes to the hospital the best. I chose to be a butterfly for this competition because I can't wait to fly to the top and win this masked reader competition. Today, I'm going to read you the story called Chester's Way. Chester had his own way of doing things. He always cut his sandwiches diagonally. He always got out of bed on the same side. And he never left the house without double knotting his shoes. Chester always had the same thing for breakfast, toast with peanut butter and jam. And he always carried a miniature first aid kit in his back pocket, just in. You definitely have a mind of your own, said Chester's mother. That's one way to put it, said Chester's father. Chester's best friend Wilson was exactly the same way. That's why they were best friends. Chester wouldn't play baseball unless Wilson played, and Wilson wouldn't ride his bike unless Chester wanted to. If Chester was hungry, Wilson was too, and they rarely ate between meals. Some days I can't tell those two apart, said Wilson's father. Me either, said Wilson's mother. Chester and Wilson, Wilson and Chester. That's just the way it is. They loved to go on picnics. Once, when Wilson accidentally swallowed a watermelon seed, Chester swallowed one too. So, in case he grew a watermelon in his stomach, Chester would have one too. Chester gave his Christmas list to Wilson every year because they always wanted the same thing. For Halloween, they dressed as things that went together: salt and pepper, two pins on a string, ham and cheese. They really are two peas in a pod, said Chester's mother. Looks like it, said Chester's father. In spring, Chester and Wilson shared the same umbrella. In winter, they didn't throw snowballs at each other. In fall, they raked leaves together. And in summer, they reminded each other to wear sunscreen. Chester and Wilson, Wilson and Chester, that's the way it was. And then Lily moved into the neighborhood. Lily had her own way of doing things. She wore band-aids all over her arms and legs to look brave. She talked backwards to herself so no one would know what she was saying. And she never left the house without one of her nifty disguises. Lily waved at all the cars that passed by, even if she didn't know who was in them. And she always carried a loaded squirt gun in her pocket, just in case. She definitely has a mind of her own, said Chester. That's one way to put it, said Wilson. When Lily asked Chester and Wilson to play, they said they were busy. When she called them up on a phone, they disguised their voices and said they were at home. If Lily was walking on one side of the street, Chester and Wilson crossed to the other side. She's something else, said Chester. Looks like it, said Wilson. One day, while Chester and Wilson were practicing their hand signals, some older boys rode by, popping wheelies. They circled Chester and Wilson and yelled personal remarks. Chester and Wilson didn't know what to do, and just when they were about to give up hope, a fierce-looking cat with horrible fangs jumped out of the bushes and frightened those bigger boys away. Are you who I think you are? Chester asked the cat. Of course, the cat replied. Thank you, Lily, said Chester. You're welcome, Chester, said Lily. Thank you, said Wilson. You're welcome, Wilson, said Lily. I'm glad you're wearing your disguise, said Chester. But I'm glad you had your squirt gun just in case. I always do, said Lily, just in case. Afterward, Chester invited Lily over for lunch. You have a muscle mouse cup, said Lily. Of course, said Chester. I do too, said Lily. Same here, said Wilson. Chester and Wilson cut their sandwiches diagonally, but Lily asked for a cookie cutter, and she made stars and flowers and bell shapes of her sandwich. That's neat, said Chester. Wow, said Wilson. That night, Lily invited Chester and Wilson to have a sleepover. You have a nightlight, said Chester. Of course, said Lily. I do too, said Chester. Same here, said Wilson. Chester and Wilson wanted toast with jam and peanut butter for breakfast the next morning. Boring, said Lily. Try this instead. This is good, said Chester. Wow, said Wilson. After that, when Lily asked Chester and Wilson to play, they said yes. When she called them on the phone, they had a pleasant conversation. And if Lily was walking on one side of the street, Chester and Wilson waved and ran to catch up with her. Chester and Wilson taught Lily hand signals. She taught them how to pop willies. Lily taught Chester and Wilson how to talk backwards, and they taught her how to double knot her shoes. Some days I can't tell those three apart, said Lily's mother. Me either, said Lily's father. Chester and Wilson and Lily, Lily and Wilson and Chester, that's the way it was now. For Halloween, they dressed as three blind mice. For Christmas, Lily gave Chester and Wilson nifty disguises, and they gave her a box of multicolored shoelaces, extra long to tie double knots. They loved to go on picnics, and when Chester and Wilson told Lily about how they had swallowed watermelon seeds, Lily swallowed three at once. I'll grow a watermelon plant for each of us, she said. In spring, Chester and Wilson and Lily shared an umbrella. In winter, they didn't throw snowballs at each other. In fall, they raked leaves together. And in summer, they reminded each other to wear sunscreen so they wouldn't get burnt. Chester, Lily, and Wilson, Lily, and Chester. They were best friends. That's the way it was. But then Victor moved into the neighborhood.
My favorite subject when I was in school was science. My favorite story was The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. And I chose the giraffe because it's tall like me. Can you guess who I am? Hi, everyone. I am going to read you a story today. However, I will not be showing the book, so just sit back and listen to this great story. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day that boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples, and they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade, and that boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy. And she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you can cut off my branches and build a house, and then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away again for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree, "and then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you." "My apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I can give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. I hope you enjoyed my absolute favorite story.
That's all our readers for tonight. Tune in tomorrow to see the rest of Group 2.